As we all know, we are in a presidential election year, and if you don't know, wow. But with that comes a lot of conversations among friends, family, coworkers.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation. Court is standing by with our trusty etiquette expert for tips on how to handle political discussions in the workplace.
Yes, we have the lovely Rosalinda Randall with us this morning. And I love the fact that you are so open to talking about anything, any and everything that there could possibly be a situation for the use of etiquette. This is going to be a huge situation. We're about 74 days from the election.
Yes.
And you're saying where you are, peace of mind has a lot to do with how you lead into these situations.
Most definitely. I mean, if you're hungry, if you're angry, if you just heard something online and you're coming in attack mode, or you're on a mission to convert, those aren't really a great way to start a conversation with a coworker. You're already amped up and not open.
What about the relationship that you have with individuals? 'Cause I feel like you can have a conversation with someone depending on the relationship that's already been established.
Yes, if you're new, don't try that at work. But if you have a relationship and you've spoken about different things that have some sensitive topics in the past, and you both know how to read each other's social cues, maybe that's okay if they're open to it. Yeah, if you know that coworker.
Now, you said keep your distance is one of the tips that you suggest. Do you mean physically or?
Yes, not avoid like, oh, I'm not going to sit next to you. But more, yes, physically, I'm so sorry, physically, when you are going to approach someone, keep some space between you. And also the aggressiveness, how do you approach? Do you corner them in a room? Are you going to start pointing and touching? Those are all things that you can end up in trouble, and they can feel threatened by that.
And you say timing has a lot to do with how well the conversation is going to go.
Also, you don't want to, again, corner someone or see that they're leaving to go get their kids at daycare, or they're just ready to take a big bite out of their sandwich. That is probably not the best time to approach a conversation like that.
Okay. You mentioned something about personal policy examples. Explain that.
Yes. For me, I would say I don't discuss politics in the workplace. That's the most simple way to get out of a conversation, whether you want to or not, whether you're friends or not. Also, there's that agree to disagree. I prefer accept. Once I accept that you think this way and I think this way, we no longer need to discuss it, and we can move on and talk about what's for lunch.
I love that. Now, here's the big one, social media. And being civil on social media, because you work with these folks, you're going to see these folks all the time. Maybe this is with family members. You kind of consider social media as your personal space.
Yes.
But you also have people who are your friends or your followers, so they are in your space.
Most definitely. And even if you use like, cupcake lover or something, and no one, an anonymous name, people can still track you down. And also, what is your company's policy? Federal and state and county have different policies for their employees than a private sector company. So be sure to do that. And also, you can, even though it's on your own time, if it's hateful, if it's threatening, you can be called in. And then finally, I'd really like to add like the drop and walk. That's one of my pet peeves. That's why I need to add this, where people come up to you and they just spew all their information and they walk away, and not giving you time to even absorb it or clarify or, have a conversation with it. That to me is one of the least effective ways to communicate.
And communicating, you're so good at. She is the author of Don't Burp in the Boardroom. So gauche. We're gonna link all the details for Rosalinda Randall to our website, gooddaysacramento.com, under show info and today's date. Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Always.
Likewise.
Always.
Thank you.
Seriously. Always a good time.